We don't like cricket, we absolutely love it. And you know exactly what's happening because the T20 World Cup is going to be happening in the West Indies and America, and we need to find out who's going to win the big trophy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Sani-That, sports guy, talking all things sport. And of course today, we're speaking cricket, we're speaking the T20 World Cup, and of course, what a surprise, I'm joined by Manraj and Mr Singh again, because we're talking cricket. They're two massive, passionate, avid cricket followers, and we need to talk about the World Cup because it's going to be an absolute big one. And without further ado, we're going to go straight into it. We're looking at the groups, we're going to plan who's going to finish first and second, who's going to go to the Super 8s, who's going to make the semi-finals, and who's going to make the final and eventually win the big one. So let's go straight into it, guys. Group A. We've got India, we've got Pakistan, we've got Ireland, we've got Canada, we've got USA. It's so funny, but every single time the World Cup happens, India and Pakistan always get grouped. I'm going to come to you, Manraj. It's a no-brainer. India and Pakistan are going to go through, right?
Yeah, 100%, but it's T20 cricket. Anything can happen. What can stop someone at Ireland having a big innings and India having an off day? But yeah, totally agree with you. I think India, Pakistan. I could probably see India nicking it just because of their record against Pakistan in T20 tournaments, but let's hope not. Let's hope Pakistan win, really.
That's a big, big claim. I mean, we all know their record, but we all know what happened in 2021 World Cup where Pakistan finally beat India in the World Cup, so who knows, it could happen again. And so, Mr Singh, do you kind of agree? Who's finishing first? Do you think India finished first, or do you think Pakistan finished first?
Well, I think there's a wider discussion that we're going to have when we talk about these groups, that the venue that's being played at is a very, very interesting question because the America country is not a country that's prevalent for cricket stadiums.
They've bought a lot of drop-in pitches, haven't they, for example?
Yeah, and I think the Caribbean itself, because a lot of countries, and it's interesting because I don't make India favourites for this tournament at all.
Why is that?
Why is that? Is that those countries that the CPL experience are the favourites, and those countries are your countries like Pakistan and your West Indies and your Sri Lankas, where their players play in the CPL, the Caribbean Premier League, quite a lot because it's a lower tier T20 tournament. So Pakistan, I would say, are the favourites in that group to finish top because they've got a lot more CPL experience. And I think the IPL that's gone by has been a basket case for bowlers. Because you look at these stupid innings of 250 versus 240, 270 versus 230. I don't know what bowling attack that connect the IPL is in form, because there can't be anybody that's in form unless you're Sunderland Ryan, who isn't even playing because he doesn't want to play with the West Indies for some reason.
It's an interesting one, to be fair, because I think the IPL will actually hold the India players in the greatest stead, especially with they've had 2 months worth of T20 cricket. You've had guys like Kohli who've actually got better as the tournament's gone on, but you've got guys like Rohit who've gone the opposite way. So it's a bit of a flux in the India team where there's a couple of guys who are in form, but a couple of guys who are badly out of form.
But the thing is, the Caribbean is a rare country, a group of islands, because if you look at the numbers up, I'm sure in the Caribbean you really get 200 treaties.
It's rare.
So all this 230 versus 250 in the IPL, what relevance will they have when these pitches, I mean, Caribbean, I think, is probably the only territory where the wind plays a bit of a factor in terms of cricket that goes on there. Yeah, there's conditions that play a part as to how the game moves. And I think with all these T20 warm-ups, unless you warmed up in America and West Indies, Pakistan versus England right now, what relevance does that have?
No, but to be fair, the Edgbaston one had probably a bit of relevance because Moeen Ali's interview after actually mentioned how their plan was actually to bowl towards the wind to the longer side of the boundary. And Stuart Broad touched upon it, saying when they were last out there and they won the World Cup there, they actually bowled with the exact same territory, exact same strategy, because they knew bowling to the wind, longer side of the boundary, it's harder to clear. But if you're batting against a West Indies,
but I think we're gonna go through the groups, but I think one thing that stands out to me is every country has holes in it. Like Pakistan got lots of holes in their team because a lot of their players are out of form. On paper, their team looks great because CPL experience plus some of the T20I records in that team are bloody sick, but a team out of form. I think in India, what IPL players are coming out of that tournament in form.
So that was a question I was going to get on to maybe later, but let's get into it now. But some notable omissions that, Shubman Gill, for example, Rinku Singh as well. Some good big players that didn't get picked, and people are talking about Kohli and Rohit Sharma being their last tournament. Do you think this is the last dance for India, basically, with the talent that they have, Manraj?
I wouldn't say it's their last dance in limited overs. I think the Champions Trophy will be a big target for them. But in terms of the T20 one, I was surprised at some of the picks, especially I think one of Kohli or Sharma. I think Kohli should have gone. I just think Rohit's T20 record last couple of years has not been great. He would have looked at someone, even though he's the captain. Maybe a bold decision had to be made, bring Shubman Gill. But Rinku Singh was a big surprise. He's probably their most devastating finisher. Those last 3 or 4 overs, if you need 20, 30 runs, he was the man. And I think the bowling's got holes in it, especially the fast bowling department. Bar Jasprit Bumrah, you can see Siraj getting hit about. I think Avesh Khan, they've all got bowlers that are going to be targeted for sure.
And you're nodding along, Mr Singh, and What do you?
Yeah,
think?
well, I think, listen, India's T20I World Cup record is abysmal, really. They've won one
100%.
tournament in how many tournament variations? So, India are never strong in this format in the World Cups. And I think...
Do you think the IPL masks their deficiencies in the format?
Even I think, I used to watch the IPL as a massive fan, but even I got bored of it now. I barely watch it. I think it's just it's too much steroids in that game. I think there's just too much. It's too much. Like, these impact player bollocks that's going on, it's like you got these ridiculous scorecards like cricket. I told you before, didn't I? Like, T20 is arcade cricket, yeah. Literally arcade cricket. PC computer game cricket. Brown eye cricket where you score 3.5 turnovers. It's coming literally into...
But I think the most important thing is it's actually it's changed cricket for probably the worst because teams are preparing with the impact player rule. You're playing against 8 batsmen and 6 bowlers. It's just not cricket. It's not realistic. So they're coming to a World Cup. You're probably thinking, as Josh Butler, I haven't got an impact player anymore. And that changes things because you're not playing proper cricket. It's arcade cricket.
What's interesting is which country would we say in this whole tournament has a bowling attack that you'd back? Because I can't think of any country.
I mean, there might be one in Group B, because let's go on to Group B. And,
Australia.
you got Australia, England, Namibia, Scotland, and Oman. I mean, it's no brainer the 2 teams that are probably going to go through.
The thing is, just before we get into the group, I've got to give, because obviously these groups look stupid because you've got 2 big countries and you've got 3 associates. But I was speaking to my brother the other day about the ICC and whether they've done enough to grow the game. But fair play to them.
100%.
They're expanding this tournament, which is the best tournament to expand because it's the Fudu tournament, essentially, yeah? Nobody really gives a recognition.
The contradiction between both of them makes no
No.
sense. But let's roll with
what
it.
I'm saying is, it's better to put these nations in this kind of tournament
100%.
where the gap is a lot less than a 50-over game.
Yeah.
And I think, credit to the ICC, they've given these other associate nations a chance to... Because one thing the ICC doesn't get recognition for is the growth of the associate game in the last 10 years. When I was growing up as a cricket fan, there was no associate nation. Bangladesh came in the early 2000s.
Kenya.
Yeah, maybe Kenya, but all these other nations, Ireland, Netherlands, Scotland. I think you mentioned Oman.
Oman,
there.
yeah.
You got a lot of the African countries in this
Namibia,
tournament. So I
yeah.
think fair play. But I think in terms of the group, Australia and England, which I make favourites for the tournament personally.
You're Australia.
Australia and England together, they're favourites for the tournament. I think.
But who's finishing top then?
Go for Australia, but it doesn't matter, does it? Who finishes top because it's knockouts. Is anybody's game,
No,
really.
so I think when they go into the Super 8s, it has an impact, doesn't it, on who they play in the Super 8s.
So obviously we said that. You're saying India. You're saying Pakistan. I think India probably finished top. So we're going India finish top of Group A.
She's got in straight knockouts. What's the point in doing 2 group stages?
It extends, I think, revenue as well.
It's revenue, and I think it's more...
But as long as the tournament...
No, but I think the point is to grow the game in
Grow the
America,
game.
so the longer you're playing there...
agreed.
But I
you're
was speaking to
getting
my brother
more
about
into
this
it.
on the weekend. I don't think cricket's got any hope or not. I mean, you got baseball, right? Which is basically people not work out the differences. I can't see how cricket will grow in America. It's a stupid
No,
idea.
of course, but I think Australia, can they go back to back? That's the question.
They've got every chance of doing it, man. Whatever you want in cricket, I
You
think
can't
they've
rule
probably
them
got
out.
covered.
And you got to give credit to Pat Cummins. Last year, the captain of his team.
Unbelievable.
Bloody hell, he's a better year in cricket that captain's ever had. But you know what? I mean, I don't know how they went. I think the last T20 tournament, Pakistan were kind of running.
Well, England won the last one, but in terms of World Cup, they've just come off winning the World Cup last year. Back to back. That's something England actually done. 2019, they won the World Cup.
I think it was Australia initially. They were rubbish at T20 World Cups.
Yeah.
Like they got knocked out in the early rounds in the South African one and in the England one. Right?
Well, no, they made the
lost in the
semis in
final to
2007.
England, didn't they, in
2010. They made the final 2010.
In 2009 one, they got knocked in the group.
In the group
Like,
stage. Yeah, they haven't got the best
What
record.
I'm saying is lately though they're on it, and I think with Australia, probably the spinners are questionable. I think the variety there in their team, the batsmen, the bowlers, a lot of all-rounders. But it's quite bizarre because the other novelty in cricket now is the batting order lineup. So Pakistan bat to number 10, Shaheen Shah bats to number 10. He's got 50s in the PSL.
Yeah, he got 15 in
So
PSL.
it's ridiculous that these lineups, England bat to number 11 probably.
I was going to say, everyone can bat in
If Jordan
England.
bats to number 11,
Yeah.
England are the first team to bat to number 11. No group as a kid, batting to number 7 was achievement. Now these teams bat to 11, but I think I'll give Australia and England, they're probably the favourites of the tournament. And I think, I think...
Yeah.
You spoke about the pitches. They're playing in Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados.
I think the benefit is England were out there last year, weren't they, for a T20 series.
And also, I think England have been to West
It's a big
Indies
benefit.
a lot more than other countries.
Yeah.
I always see them going every 2 years.
Yeah.
England to tour West Indies. So I think that knowledge... Again, but then you could argue, if you've got... We're talking about South Africa, Sri Lanka, them kind of players, them kind of teams, but if you've got CPL experience, it's a gold mine.
It's true. And
that's why Imad Wasim came out of retirement. That's why Mohamed Amir came out of retirement because they looked at the CPL experience and thought, you're in the CPL, come play this tournament because that experience you can't put value on.
yeah, but speaking of the CPL, obviously we all know that's in the Caribbean. Group C, we have the West Indies, New Zealand, Afghanistan, Papua New Guinea and Uganda. Surely this is a no-brainer. West Indies and New
The
Zealand.
group of death, really, isn't it? You got three very good.
I think the next one we're going to get onto the group of death. But I think, what about this group? Who's coming for?
Well, think about it. If one of them, if you don't get through, that's a disaster,
I know.
really, isn't it?
Well,
Because,
Well,
I think
Really?
I think Afghanistan less so.
I'd say
I think,
so, I agree
but
with you.
Afghanistan have got top players. Afghanistan will give.
We do have
both
the bottle, though. We
teams-
also what happened in the Glenn Maxwell game in the World
yeah, but
Cup.
one game at it. One game.
But
At
I
it. The fact
think-
they were there's the achievement.
No,
you
but
know
I,
what?
I think it's the fact that innings was so magical. That innings was the hitting. We'll probably never see stuff like that again. Really.
But
It was
listen,
a
I
one-off.
think Afghanistan, you should take them seriously, man. They're better than Ireland. That when Ireland were at their peak.
Can they beat West Indies in West Indies? Can
Yeah.
they beat New
I
Zealand?
think the benefit is the spin. I think spin there will play a big part, which is why I think India will be there and thereabouts because of the quality of the spin, and they've got the best T20 spinner in the world, Rashid Khan.
But see, what's interesting is every country's got a story. West Indies, probably the most successful country in T20 World Cups. But no, in those tournaments, you never would have given them a chance.
Never.
And you know, again, how can you write them off? I think Darren Sammy's involved, a lot of the contingent, the homegrown contingent, there's the ex-players and more in the structure there.
Yeah.
For me, it's a shame that Narine didn't come back out of retirement. If he'd come back out of retirement,
He's a
you
great
would say, because Russell came back out of retirement pretty much. If Narine had come back out of retirement, you would have said,
would
yo,
have been big favourites.
West Indies are in business. Because Narine, I don't know how he gets 3 overs at 5 runs and over still in this day and age. You don't see him for 10 years and he's still economical. And when you see him when you watch him bowl, he hasn't got like a ball that spins 360 degrees. He just loops in and bowls the ball and you can't hit him.
It's his variation.
But
his
he was
pace.
back retirement, but I think in that group,
Who's finishing top? New Zealand,
but
West Indies,
but
Afghanistan?
New Zealand, they're the consistent of the consistent teams.
Agreed. I love New Zealand.
But I just think New Zealand are dipping a little now. I just
I think
think.
this is the end of their
I think
their
I think
period.
it's coming towards the end.
Dangerous to say that. Dangerous to say
But
that.
maybe this
New
is their
Zealand-
last dance. People talk about India.
Yeah.
Maybe this is their last dance where this group of players thinks, you know what? Let's give this a right go. Let's see how far we can get.
No, of course, but I want to say one thing. I know you always relish about talking about this, but 2016 T20 World Cup semi-finals, West Indies versus India at the 1KD. You always talk about West Indies and what they've done, and the floor's yours. You can talk about that game.
Nah, the thing is, you know, I've got political reasons why I'm not a massive Indian fan, if I'm honest. But that game, forget my political views, that game, yeah, because you got to think about the cauldron of being West Indian team in India's home tournament in the semi-final. They got massive score on the board. They lose 2 early wickets, 3 early wickets. I think Sammy went cheaply, right? You know, Lendo Simmons, a guy that had a lot of talent but never really achieved his potential. And I think Johnson Charles was the other guy, wasn't he, batting together? And I just remembered, you know, that pressure, you chasing 12 runs and over, and you got a 6 every over, and every over goes by a 6, a 4, a 6. And I'm thinking, yo, for a few overs you can keep it up, but can you keep this going for like the whole innings? And what I loved is the silence of the crowd. As every 6 went over the fence, the sign just dipped and dipped. And you had the no-ball wickets.
Yeah.
You had Kohli drop a catch. And you just thought the romanticness of this team is going to come from behind. Look what they did in the final. They won it against
Carlos
the
Brathwaite.
similar backs to the wall job.
Remember
And I
that
think
name.
These are the kind of things where, because West Indies, they're one of the few true nations in cricket who know what it means to be the best. Because in their DNA, they know what it is to be the best. And you can't get that out of a DNA. Even though right now, administratively, their cricket is in a disaster situation, that DNA of winning, I think that gives them a chance to do well in this tournament.
See, that's Group C. Group D. Now, this for me, Mr. Singh, is the group of death. You've got South Africa, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Netherlands, and Nepal. And Raj, who is finishing first and second from this group?
I'll always back South Africa. I think South Africa will always win the group. I just think the strength that they have, their bowling attack, you know, Markram, Klaassen, the 2 biggest hitters in T20s, I think they'll just edge it for me.
I think the reason why they're in a group with death, sadly, is because Sri Lanka are not what they used to be, sadly.
Unfortunately, but
And
it's not the West Indies. but-
Bangladesh, right now, I mean, after coming off a defeat against the United States of America, what a ridiculous 7 results that is. And I think, you know,
This is a guy, by the way, who keeps going about Bangladesh being this country and
It
this
should be a tier
it should
one
be a tier one,
association
tier one
nation.
nation,
No.
and they lose to the USA. Like, come on now.
I've said it to you before, yeah.
Here we go.
Personally, yeah. Never ever quote me without quoting me properly, because I know what I say, yeah. What I'm saying is Bangladesh, nobody can deny that over the last 10 years, Bangladesh have gone from here to here in terms of development as a team. Because the results say that. What I'm saying is right now, they're in a bit of a rut. And that's why, for me, in this group, the Netherlands love this group.
I was going to say, this is a great group for the Netherlands. They've got a chance here, I
It's the
think.
best group you could think of with the Netherlands. And I think
They could do it.
I would say, let me go on
100%.
a punt. I'm going to say South Africa and the Netherlands.
Wow.
Go through.
I won't be surprised because we all know what happened in Australia.
Yeah.
They beat South Africa. No one expected. Everyone thought South Africa were going to do it. They're going to go through.
I think South Africa. I think they should write this tournament off. They got no chance of winning this tournament because they got holes in the team plenty.
South Africa.
Yeah, no chance.
Do you not think?
No chance. No chance.
I just think South
The
Africa.
firepower.
No,
Yeah,
the
no.
firepower.
Every team's got that firepower though. If I'm honest with you.
But I just think their firepower is. I think probably only the West Indies can contend with that firepower because
Throughout the batting lineup
No,
as
no, no,
well.
no, 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 but and this is why.
And they got good pacemen
This
as
is
well.
why only intellectuals can talk about cricket, because if you know firepower, yeah, firepower also depends on the scenario you play the cricket in. In the Caribbean, you don't need 200 plus to win the game.
No.
Yeah, Klassen, the
Marco
players.
Quinton de Kock as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
they
Yeah.
got 200,
Yeah.
but when it's flat pitch in India, what I'm saying is, when you're in the Caribbean, yeah, the smart cricket wins. Yeah, like look at the West Indies, they pack their team with all-rounders, yeah. They got a left armer, right arm spinner, they got medium pace fast bowlers. Variety wins this tournament. If you got variety in your bowling attack, that's what's going to win
I
this
think
tournament.
bowling and batting. I think in T20 cricket now, you're seeing a lot of left hand, right hand, and I think that will probably be India's probably shortcoming in the tournament, but probably England's advantage actually,
Yeah, I
because
think England's
they
got
can
it,
go
right.
left, right, left, right, left,
No, of
right,
course.
left, right,
England,
all the way.
England, even though, you know, you got Livingston, who are, you know, Conning a living playing cricket, personally speaking, Conning a living, hopeless people, one good innings makes a career these days, disgrace. But honestly, England got that variety where every angle got covered.
No, of course, but obviously that was Group B. This was Group D. We're going South Africa, and who are we going second? Netherlands.
I think Netherlands.
Putting a spanner in the works. Shall we go for it?
Why not?
Why
That's
not?
what we love
Why not?
about T20 cricket.
Of course, that's the beauty of T20 cricket, or as Mr. Singh says, arcade cricket. But one thing I will say before we get on to Super 8s, it's a damn shame that the Zimbabwean cricket team is not in this T20 World
No,
Cup.
it's not a shame because they deserve it. Because listen, I follow Zimbabwe cricket. Anybody knows me well. For some reason, I've got a punch on following Zimbabwe cricket because it's a true underdog nation. Zimbabwe were a great team back in the day. You know, last 6 of the World Cup in 1999. They've got the greatest wicket batsman in the history of world cricket, Andy Flower.
Big claim there, big claim.
No,
It's a justified claim. The statistics say it.
listen, don't get me started on that. Yeah, don't put respect on the guy's name. But Zimbabwe, it's just a shame, man. It's just a shame. I remember India World Cup. Remember that qualifier, Scotland versus Zimbabwe.
Oh.
This guy didn't know anything about Zimbabwe. But I remember chatting to him on Hangout saying, "Yo, you're watching this game because it was a thriller." I was just ashamed to see Zimbabwe lose that game because for these countries going to the World Cup is like putting
everything.
bread on the table or not. And it's sad that they missed out again. But again, they play these African nations that are associates. You gotta beat them. If you don't beat them, you don't deserve to be anywhere. And Zimbabwe know that. They know they don't deserve to be here, so they deserve the punishment that comes with not being here, isn't it? Sad to say.
His name might be Mr. Singh, but he's judge, jury, and executioner the way he's talking right now. But listen, obviously that's the group stages. Let's get into the Super 8. So for Group 1, we went India, England, New Zealand, and the Netherlands. And for Group 2, we went Pakistan, Australia, West Indies, and then we went South Africa.
That's second group.
Oh,
Is
that's
sick group. That's second group. Is
Let's
sick
talk about Group 1. We'll get on to Group 2. Let's do. No, but when you have dinner, you have your
That's second group
entrees.
with the best group of all time.
No, but when you have dinner, you have your entrees and you have your mains. Let's go for the entree. Let's go Group 1. So we went India, England, New Zealand, and Netherlands.
Same finalists like India. And
Only
England.
two teams can go through.
I'd
so
say India and England.
No doubt.
No brainer. Not even in New Zealand.
I think it's a no-brainer. I think New Zealand. I think their time of shocking India at World Cups has probably come to an end now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Actually,
just don't see it
sorry.
happen.
Actually, you know what? England definitely.
So you think England finishes top of
India,
that group?
India
I think
versus
India
New
will win all
Zealand,
their
you could
games.
You could toss a coin. I think you could toss a coin. Because New Zealand got India's.
Yeah, but last World Cup, we all know what
Last
happened.
World Cup, they beat them twice.
Twice.
And they beat them
Convincingly.
both ways differently. They chased the total and then they
Yeah,
absolutely
but
pillared their bowlers.
The thing is that semi-final it wasn't as one-sided as you think it was until the 40th over.
You know, Darren Mitchell kept them in the game, but the run rate was always slipping and he was
Yeah,
tiring.
but I'll put, let's go India and England. in the
I
first
think
group.
India.
So who's finishing top? India?
England.
And England.
England
will
finished
beat
top.
India.
Yeah, and then
They'll
India
beat
second.
India.
But of course, this is the one that you guys saw their reactions. They were absolutely giddy. Group 2, Pakistan, Australia, West Indies,
What a fire
and
group.
South Africa.
Fire group.
Mr. Singh, I'll let you. You can have the mic. The floor is yours. Thoughts on that group?
Yeah, I think if I had to pick two teams,
Yeah.
how do you pick them? I think
Australia's won. I just think Australia will have the know-how and that determination to win two of them.
I want to go win. Yeah, in this group, I pick Pakistan, West Indies to go through.
No chance.
No way.
No chance.
Not
No chance. No chance. No chance.
Why?
I can't see Pakistan.
I don't
doing
think
it.
Why?
Pakistan's batting, I don't think will get them runs.
And I don't
to
think their
chase.
spinners are that good as well, to be honest.
Pakistan's batting lineup on paper is
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like
but
you
it's
said,
on paper,
It's
they're-
out of
Listen,
focus. Out
I'll
of
tell
touch.
you right now, if the Pakistan batting on the hits, yeah, it's a different level of hitting, yeah. You got people in there
Nah,
that put the ball in the Caribbean Sea. Where they find it? Like if they got over, yeah, but they hit that six.
Allow if the guy. It's about your Mitchell Marshes in your
No,
Clarsons and your.
Have you seen the fuckers on a ball? I've got to say, yeah, you know, in that last World Cup, 50 over one, yeah, people making it like a one-sided debate that Maxwell's 201 was the best innings ever, yeah? Fuckers won against New Zealand. Okay,
Oh, God, yeah, that one. Sorry, that game. Yeah,
They were
that game.
chasing 400.
That's the one. And Bengaluru.
They
In
were on
Bengaluru.
fire. This guy, fuckers won. He was just bowling. Every bowler was having the thing handed to them. So I'm saying, when you got a player like that in your team, yeah, if when he hits...
That was
these
proper
games-
born blasting that.
These games, his margins. So what I'm saying is Pakistan, listen, Babar Azam, you can't knock his T20 record. Rizwan.
I don't know. I think he's overrated, personally.
No, but he's in T20s, he isn't. Yeah.
Well, it's all right when you're going at 100
100
strike rate to get your 50s, you know?
But if one player does that, it's fine. The problem is that all of them do.
I think that way of winning in this tournament will be the way
Yeah.
to win.
Yeah.
Is
Anchoring and all that.
anchoring. This is why I think this could be a Kohli tournament.
On a level though, if I name 5 people, yeah. Rizwan, Azam,
Which one? Azam Khan, you on about?
Babar Azam, Mohammad Azam, Fakhar Zaman, Iftikhar Ahmed, yeah.
Oh,
Shazam
no.
Khan, yeah.
I just don't think... I can't take the lineup seriously.
Compare that lineup and the power it has to other nations. It's comparable. It's easily comparable.
Okay, so you think Pakistan finished top of that group?
No, I think they go through, yeah. But they finish top is.
We need to know who finishes top. Who?
I think Australia will
I think
finish top.
I agree with Manraj. I think
What
Australia's
West
in that
Indies?
group.
What West Indies?
I think West Indies.
I think they
will
finished second.
I think West Indies second. South Africa third. Pakistan fourth.
But listen. But in T20, yeah, if you have an off day, that's all it takes. Because you can't, in 50 or cricket, you can make up the margins because the game is long enough. But in T20 cricket, like what? How do we know that West Indies won't turn up and get hit?
But the thing is, it's the same. West Indies and Pakistan, the same boat. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's like the packet. They're a bag of rebels.
Yeah.
One day they're the sexy flavour. The other day they make you want to
But
puke.
listen, I'm here to mix it up, and so I think Pakistan, West Indies. That's it.
West Indies, and who do you...
I want to go Australia, Windies.
Okay, cool. So we're finishing with the semi-finals. I'm going to do your selection, Mr. Singh. I'm also going to do yours as well.
You're-
And Raj, I'm going to go with you. So the first semi-final, you've got England versus West Indies. And in the second semi-final, you've got India versus Australia. Who's making the final?
Hi.
Hi, Rabba, hi.
West Indies home tournament. I could see it winning it in a super over.
Beating England in the Super
In a
Over.
super over.
Wouldn't that be a
And
sight
then,
for storylines?
for storylines, India to get revenge against Australia.
So India and West Indies in the final is what Manraj is saying. However, Mr. Singh, your bracket looks a bit different to Manraj's. And obviously you believe that the first semi-final will be England versus West Indies. And the second one, you're saying...
Wow.
You're saying
The
India
ICC would love for this
versus
to happen.
Pakistan
ICC would love
in the
for this to happen.
semi-finals. Who's making the final?
Listen, the last T20 World Cup match between India and Pakistan, yeah? Was it the 10 wicket?
Australia, I think.
It was in Australia when
Kohli
smashes
smashes it
down the
against
ground.
Harris Rao.
Okay,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, yeah.
Unbelievable innings, by the way.
But
by
Pakistan,
Madness.
one day they got to get this kind of monkey reverses it, and I think why not? Yeah, they'll win that semi-final. Why not? Because it's a T20 game, anything can happen.
He's got too much belief in Pakistan.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is, one day that team when it hits,
It's
yeah,
going to be like a balloon just pops.
it's like, in the first one, England versus West Indies.
Yeah. I've got fancy West Indies in that, personally.
I think England's
West Indies, man.
all-round ability will be enough to get over West Indies in the semi-final. So I said England beat West Indies in the semi-final, and Pakistan beat India.
So you're saying it's a rematch of the World Cup final that happened last time in the T20 edition in Australia.
But
England versus
on
Pakistan.
that basis alone, why are we saying Pakistan can't get to the final? If they go to the final,
I don't think they can.
I just think I think your selection of them getting through the Super 8 group is a big long shot.
What?
I think it is as well. I can't see it being Australia.
Listen, by the way, Pakistan's some Tier 5 nation. What are we talking
No,
about?
no one's saying that. No one's saying that.
No, you need to listen to West Indies, South Africa,
Australia.
and
Okay,
Australia are
okay.
top.
You're saying
top-
both
top
Australia
nations.
and South Africa are
but
making
to
it.
point flaws in your arguments, yeah? Could you shut you up for a second, yeah? Find me a better spinner in West Indies conditions than Imad Wasim.
Adam Zampa.
No, get the record numbers out, because his record on the CPL is incredible.
Yeah, but CPL's one thing.
it's a
T20 for your nations are completely different.
Translate
No,
to
but
batting
CPL
against Virat Kohli there.
CPL is
Or
a
high-
different
class
different
CPL is the
level.
closest comparator to these conditions, isn't it? You can't take a record in India or South Africa, Australia. CPL.
But look at the quality of opposition in the CPL and the players that play. The elite don't always play. in
Yeah,
the
then
CPL.
what-
The elite
knowledge of
don't
con-
play there.
knowledge-
Australians don't
knowledge
even
of the
play there.
conditions is what's going to be the tangible asset here. Knowledge of the conditions, knowledge of the.
But one player
surroundings.
can't.
But I think the
That
knowledge
much
of
of it.
conditions will
No,
be.
Mohamed Amir, look, he's record in the CPL. That's
I
what
can't see him doing that much damage personally. Anyway.
But I think the conditions. So.
Wait and see it.
But then, okay, so then by that logic, West Indies will win that group.
Yeah.
Using that logic,
West
it's
Indies
true.
should walk that because their CPL knowledge is the
I'm saying West Indies
greatest.
get the same final though. I'm saying
So
West
West Indies is locked in. So what's to say that Pakistan will beat Australia and South Africa? South Africa have CPL experience
Yeah.
inside as well.
Pakistan have more, I think.
Is it? I thought
Sure, they do,
I'll-
sure they
I'll-
do.
What Mr Singh is saying is size does matter.
It's like it's a flip of a coin, really. But I think
Yeah,
Pakistan will.
margins. But what I'm saying
I
is,
just don't think
don't
Pakistan have
drop Pakistan. It's kind of right off here. They got to the
I
last
just-
final, the recent T20 World Cup. They got to the final. Yeah, they've won it in their history. They got another final in 2007 years. So don't write them off. It means someone to.
No, I ain't writing them off. I think they'll be competitive. I just don't think they have enough to get over the line to get to the semi-final.
I agree with Manraj, but obviously with your selection, obviously talking about
If
semi-finals.
they click though, if they click.
So you're saying Pakistan, England make the final,
Yeah.
right? And you're going with India versus West Indies.
Yeah, India, West Indies. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Manraj first. Who's winning it?
Or West Indies, man.
2024?
I think there will be a repeat of the India-England game in the semi-final, the last T20 edition.
What when England absolutely
Yeah,
wiped the
when
floor? with
Butler and
India?
Hales absolutely blasted them. I think it'll be a repeat.
That's a big claim. West Indies against that India team.
Yeah, I think they'll batter them.
Yeah, no, he's trying to get his arse.
What about you? Okay.
They'll batter them.
Okay, so
West
I'm gonna
Indies in the
ask
final,
you,
West
Mr.
Indies in
Singh.
the final.
I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Singh. Who's winning that final that Manraj has proposed? India versus West Indies.
West Indies at the final, they'll win it because the passion of that crowd and the passion of their players.
But you could have said that for the 2023 World Cup when India made the final against Australia.
No.
They had passion.
No.
Most passionate
Listen,
cricket team
listen.
nation in the
Speak
whole
to
world.
Caribbean people. It's different. It's different. Their passion for cricket is different. You can't.
What more than it? What?
No. It's a different kind of passion.
Yeah.
Because West Indies know what it means. Yeah, to be an underdog. West Indies knows what it means to.
But they've got rich history in this tournament.
No. But in this history, yeah, but that history you're talking about, it doesn't come with them being favourites. These tournaments they won were their favourites.
No.
Probably not. No.
But they won them.
But those are good players. You have the potential. To
No. What
win.
I'm saying is West Indies are best when their back is against the wall. And when you don't expect anything of them, that's no smash. So I think if we get to the final, you can't bet against them. But for me, yeah, in my final, it's England versus Pakistan, isn't it? In my final.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what? Sadly for Pakistan fans, but I think England, they get their last one song. with
The
this
double.
T20.
They're doing the double.
Yeah.
The double
I
three
think
games.
back.
With the England team, yeah, what hole can you find?
Unreal team. Unreal squad. 'Cause
Yeah.
even their substitute players are unbelievable
It's
as
the
well.
top 15, that is.
But if they can get Livingston out the team, put some new proper there.
What's your thing against Livingston?
He's just a fraud. What I'm saying is he's a Voodoo player. Yeah. If they get somebody proper in for him, that means their team is robust. Because I think they got left arm over, right arm over. They got Arch coming back somewhere. They got free spinners if Livingston playing. They're back to 11. It's too much.
I think it'd be Will Jacks. I think will be a wild card shout for them.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Moin Ali's a wild card shot.
I don't know.
You know what? He's a vice captain of
Yeah.
the side.
No, what I'm saying
you
is
know he's going to be a
wild card,
pivotal
like you
figure.
got
Because
Not going under the radar or
is
something.
still flying. People to give him recognition for what a good cricketer he is.
Yeah.
Take that straight, yeah. He's underrated, massively underrated cricketer.
If he's underrated or overrated, doesn't matter. You're going with England to win the World Cup. You're going with West Indies. We'd love to hear what you guys think in terms of who wins the World Cup. But before you say who wins the World Cup, we want to know who you think wins each group, who makes it to the Super 8s, who wins the Super 8 groups and who finishes second, who wins the respective semi-finals, and eventually who wins the tournament as well. You've heard what we have to think. We want to know what you guys think. But as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure to smash a like, drop your comments, share with your friends and family. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to Sani-That Sports Guy. It helps the channel out massively. But as always, until next time, peace.